What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, let's get back to the comments under the NESARA GESARA video that I did. I usually go through, check them out. If there's any questions, any comments, anything I need to respond to, I do so. And I did this video in response to the fact that people kept sending me a link, trying to convince me that there was some official lawsuit, some official thing going on by a high-ranking military individual. And I had already looked into it. And in the beginning, I'll be honest, when I first heard about it, I thought this is very interesting. But the more I dug into it, then I started paying attention to the verbiage. And then it dawned on me. That's another acolyte of Russell J. Fool. Now, I do want to clear something up because I want people to understand. When you guys hear me talk about Russell J. Gold, here's the thing. And I said this before, but I want to clear this up. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a fraud. Now, this syntax language that he's doing, the way he talks about the proper use of verbiage, I think that's legit. I think there is a place for it. The part I was having trouble with was he's the savior of this country and he owns our flag and, he's the actual president and he's a Supreme Court justice. Yeah, he's a wackadoodle, just so you guys know. But the actual thing that he talks about, that syntax language, I said this before, I think there is something, there's a place for it in law. But the problem is he's been to court several times trying to use this to help get cases tossed out, to help get people relieved of their mortgages. It's never worked. I've got case after case after case after case, and I can keep going, in which his cases were dismissed. And he was using that somehow as a way to prove to people that he was winning in court. But he was wrong. And I explained this before. I said, look, if you are the plaintiff and your case is dismissed, that's bad. If you're a defendant and your case is dismissed, that's good. He was a plaintiff, which means all his dismissals, they were not good. But anyways, I wanted to respond to the video because so many of you send me the video. And on there, of course, was Winnie, and I give her a hard time. I think her heart's in the right place. I really do. I know she talks crap about my friends, and I've been on her about it. And I'm pretty sure, well, hell, who knows whether or not she talks crap about me. But I jokingly say I got a nerd crush on her. So, I'm just giving her a hard time. The point is, if you're going to do reports, we try to do our best. At least I like to think that whenever you bring anybody on, you do your best to dig into their background a little bit. Make sure they're not, one of these people talk about Russell J. Gold being a flying golden angel and you guys fall down to the ground holding hands. One of those kind of guys. So let's get into this. Let's see the comments and let's respond. Before we get started, if you could do me a favor and just hit the thumbs up button, the like button that is. This helps us get past the YouTube algorithms. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. A reminder to everybody that I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a lawyer, nor an accountant. All the information that I share with you is of my own opinion.
Hey, look, I want to talk about this Amber Lolly product again. Whenever something good comes along, I do want to talk about this. My neck, I had a kink in my neck from hell, and the pain it gets to the point where you get headaches. So I just grabbed the cream and I rubbed that crap on the back of my neck. After a while, you don't even realize that the pain is gone. You're just going, and how we are several hours later, and there's no pain. And it works really quick. I like that. So joint pain and muscles, sore muscles, nice. And then here's the thing about me. I get offered all the time. People want to come on, they want to be sponsors, they want to be this. My thing is, if I don't use your product, I'm not interested. I can sell out everything and make a ton of money, but no, my subscribers to me are very important. But this product here, absolutely, I'm going to endorse this. I like it a lot. AmberLolly.com.
Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right, gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. So head on over to moneymetals.com and buy gold and silver. That's right, you could personally own it and have it. And keep in mind, if you spend more than $100 on your first purchase, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. You guys know I have this alternative website. I encourage you guys to go check it out because over here we do have videos that I cannot play on YouTube and videos that have been banned from YouTube. All proceeds go to finding life's purpose. Be careful from people trying to scam you, posing as me. Whenever I reply to your comment, there will be a black circle or a gray circle around my name. If there is no circle or shade around my name, then it's not me. I will not be sending you to WhatsApp or Telegram or Telegraph or anything like that asking you for money. From time to time, I will use material that is considered copywritten. I am just posting this to let you know that I am exercising my fair use rights. Okay, so on that video, there was this copy of the paperwork that was supposed to prove to everybody that, hey, a case has been filed. Now, I've worked with the courts before. I was an arbitrator for a while. So I know how to look these cases up. So I went right where the person said it was. It said United States District Court, Central District of California, Western Division in Los Angeles. The problem is the case number that they had on there was not there. As a matter of fact, I went on that date and there was nothing filed by that gentleman at all, anywhere listed on there. Of course, me being silly like always am, I took a copy of that paperwork that he filed and twisted it around and took out some of the stuff and put funny stuff in there. Some of you guys noticed. Some of you guys did not realize what was going on. The date is December 32nd. Somebody's like, there's no such date. I don't believe you filed that. I was like, yeah, I mean, that's the point. The point was just me being facetious and making fun of the video because it was ridiculous. Postmaster General of the Universe, well, everybody knows that's me. I made myself the self-proclaimed Postmaster General of the Universe, Pimpy. Look over here. It says Sheriff of Mayberry, Common Law Husband, Nowhere Avenue. You got to love the case number, CV02021. Where we go one, we go all. And then down here it says jury trial required, circuit rider overview required. Then I said straight jacket required. Over here, the person had his name, Colonel. From the South, it's pronounced Colonel. That's why I put Ingus at the end, Colonel Ingus. If you don't know what that is, that could explain why you're having relationship issues at the moment. It says MM 33 degrees. I took out what was there and put on there Freemason because I thought it was funny. So anybody who saw the paperwork and paid attention closely knows what I was doing. Let's go down in the comments, take a look real quick, see. I let everybody know that I was like, everybody's like, where's Pimpy? People thought I got suspended because of this video. Not this video. Whenever you get suspended by YouTube, they take the video away. So you'll never see the video. They just punish you and take the video away. So it wasn't because of this video I was on suspension. I actually put the video on my Pimpy's News Network. Let's go down here. Miss Sullivan, here we go. A main point that should be considered is that our government is completely illegitimate and has been since 1871 Act of England. NESARA GESARA is about returning to our original constitution, the law of the land. While your lawsuit may somehow help, there's a good chance you end up with a crooked judge. If NESARA GESARA is in the process, which it appears to be, I think a lawsuit is necessary, but good luck anyways. So the lawsuit is not real. Okay. I know people keep talking about this farmers thing way back in the day. There's a lot of people connecting dots where you can't connect them. All right. Now, NESARA GESARA, actually, there was something that was brought up at one time, but nothing was ever signed into law. No presidents ever had the gun put to their head. That's all false. There would be no reason to have to do that. That's why there's no clones. That's why there's no 17 miles of gold and all the other crap that you guys were told about. There is a QFS system. We talked about that, but not the way you're being told in this whole arena. I actually put on a person who knows about it, deals with it. So is this government illegitimate? Could be. But the point is, how do you change it? It's going to take the masses to make the change. You can't just vote people in and out of office. Eventually, they all become corrupt or compromised. NESARA GESARA is about returning to our original constitution. Yeah, it's more than that. I mean, I am going to show you some other points and then do some updates. I used to do videos on them. You guys know I did NESARA GESARA videos, but I only did stuff I can prove. There's a lot of hokey pokey stories out there. And I would leave the links down there so you guys can go see for yourself what I was looking at and then got your opinion from it. Debbie said, "Thanks, Pimpy. That's probably one of the funniest videos you've ever done. I laughed and laughed through the entire thing. I needed that. Thank you." You know, it's funny. Some people are like, "You're interrupting the video." They're missing the point. You know what I mean? It ain't easy being green, Pimpy. You can make a fortune doing Kermit the Frog voiceovers. I love you, man. I love you right back. Appreciate you posting the link so we could hear it without interruptions, Pimpy. Thank you. Sandra, that was the whole point of the thing. I'm interrupting because it's me reviewing it. I was just being silly, making a mockery of it is what it was, because that was the whole purpose of doing that. Me just being silly. He's tossing a word salad. Yep, still waiting for my NESARA money. Yep, you crack me up. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate that. Great video, Pimpy. I laughed at Sweetie Balls. Yeah, that is funny. Not I mean, here's the funny thing, Michelle. Not a lot of people know about that skit. It's one of the best. She does remind me of that. Yeah, when you listen to her, I was like, it reminds me of somebody. It's that Sweaty Ball skit from Saturday Night Live. If you guys never heard that skit, you got to go watch it because they bring Alec Baldwin on there. Yeah, before he murdered people, that guy. So they bring him on there and they have this skit going on and they keep the same tone of voice and the things that are saying are really funny, but what adds to the funniness of the skit is that tone of voice, that level really soft. One of those public access TV shows back in the 80s, we used to get those. The mellow-tone voice, and this what they're talking about is really funny. It's really funny skit. Go Pimpy, take that action. Just heard about Harry Reid's passing. Sorry for your loss, Pimpy. Yeah, he passed away, but we weren't friends, man. I learned a lot from Harry Reid. I really did. I learned a lot about politics. I learned a lot about what really goes on behind the scenes. I've heard and witnessed stuff that I was not a fan of. If people really knew how politicians talked about the public behind their back, you would be sick to your stomach. You'd be disgusted. You would be pissed off. They really do believe everybody is a piece of crap and they are holier than thou. And I'm not even exaggerating. Now, don't get me wrong, generally speaking, there are a couple of people in there that are really nice people. Hi, Pimpy. I started buying silver. Congratulations. Right now, I keep telling people, there's a lot of talk about what's going on in the gold and silver market. They're not even hiding the illegal manipulation that they're doing anymore. Sue says, as always, thank you, Pimpy. You are very welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Pimpy. I was wondering for someone to actually research that guy, Gold, AK Fool. Yeah. No, I know him. So, keep up the good work. Now I wish someone would put these hopium suppliers in their place. Yeah, we've done it. I've done it a couple times, but not as good as M Seeker of Truth. You guys go watch him. And he puts them in their place. He's been exposing a lot of these people. He does one hell of a job. Money is moving. My sources say any day. Wills are in place. Gotta enter code. You're gonna find out when you support it. Yeah, this is all the things they say. I get it. They do. Suggested Pimpy, I appreciate what you do, but please let the video play out without interruptions. It discredits, in my opinion, what you're trying to get across. Greg, that's the whole point. I'm just making a mockery of the video. Okay? When you see me do videos like that and you see me interrupting them and being silly, that's because what they're saying, I'm not only not taken seriously, but the whole purpose is just to make fun of a certain part of it. Sometimes you have to use humor to get your point across. So, but I did leave a link so you guys can actually go watch the full video. So hopefully you got over there to check it out. Laugh out loud. Keep up the commentary. I'm laughing my butt off. Thanks. I was hoping you guys would get a kick at it. Listen to Mal K show. She is walking law book. She has the proof of everything on it and so much more. Yeah, I've heard Mal K. She sounds very convincing, but there's other things about her that I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You know how when you pay attention to somebody, you always wonder if they got an angle going on, just something about them. But I don't have anything against Mel K. I know she's one of used to be one of Charlie's special guests. I think she still is, as a matter of fact. But yeah, damn Pimpy, you're funny as hell. Are you going to ever be interviewed by Mr. Brando? Did Mr. Brando want to interview me? I don't have a problem with it. I never had no issue with Mr. Brando. Everybody knows that's where I got my start. Was on the Mr. Brando show, and if I'm being honest, I said this before. You know, me and Mr. Browno went different ways, and a lot of people convinced me to start my own YouTube channel. Like I said, I had no idea that it would grow the way it did. I thought maybe 200 subscribers at most, and I was a little bit wrong. This is not a staring contest. It kind of freaked me out. Yeah, she can kick my ass. I can't hear anything else, Pimpy. Oh my God, your commentary. Yeah, because when I first was looking at it, I didn't realize it was a glitch. And then later on, when I went to go do the commentary over it, I couldn't help just make fun of it a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, she's just sitting there, she's not moving. But it did scare the crap out of me for for real when she finally moved, man. It jumped. I was like, I was not ready for that. Awesome, Pimpy. Thanks for following up on the news. To me, I saw that video you're referring to. You have way too much fun. Love it. Pimpy, you got to chill, man. You had me rolling on the ground. Look, I'm glad you guys got a kick out of it. I was hoping. There's a lot of crazy things going on. We need a good laugh every now and then. Again, I appreciate the hard work that Winnie does, and I give her a hard time. I really do. But, just some of the things that she's bringing across, you just want to be careful and make sure it's legit. All she had to do was dig into the case a little bit, but maybe not a lot of people know how to do that. So I do give her a hard time, but I think she's a sincere person. Pip, you have a lot of time on your hands. Not really, seriously. Thank God, thank you. You're very welcome. I just hope some version of freedom happens. Michael, I agree. I think with everything that's going on, you're starting to see that the tide is turning. In my opinion, I really believe that. There's a lot of people standing up. We're seeing the Moms of Liberty take issues with the schools all over the place. They're one of the fastest growing organizations. We're seeing DeSantis start his own little, state troopers over there taking a charge. You're starting to see a lot of Republicans. Unfortunately, you have to say by political parties. I hate to do that, but it's the truth. They're starting to, fight the mandates. They're starting to take them to court. They're starting to win. They're opening up their economies. They're not falling for all this crap, and they're doing something about it. There is a civil war happening. People just need to wake up and see that. This midterms coming up are going to be big, but you can tell already. You can see the panic in the Democrats' eyes. That's why they're pushing like hell to get these so-called John Lewis voting rights act passed. It's nothing to do with voting rights. It's all about them being able to find ways to fraudulently stay in power by, rigging the system is what they're trying to do. I'm with you, Pimpy. I do my research, but I like listening to you too. Patrick, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, it is important. People shouldn't just take my word as gold. Don't get me wrong. I make mistakes myself, and I don't mind when people point it out. If I make a mistake and somebody points it out and I go to the research and they're right, I'll come on and make a correction. I'm not too proud. Seriously, I'll just come on and say, oops, I made a mistake. You just got to remember, though, the courts to keep tossing out his cases are the corporate courts. Come on now, once we know the truth, we have to back the guys who are speaking it. It's a lot to soak in, but we've been deceived for thousands of years now. Okay, so I see what you're saying, Lisa. I get it. So here's my thing. Just like I said before, let's just say Russell's right. Let's say he's got the flag. Let's say he is who he says he is. What good does it do? He's not able to achieve anything at all. He has no power. As a matter of fact, in one of the court cases, the judge went on to make a mockery of him, saying this guy's claiming to be a higher version of the Supreme Court. Now, I've heard Russell say that, he's this ultimate supreme judge, he's got the final say so. But if that's the case, then why isn't he ordering these courts to do something about it? He has no power, none whatsoever. Come on, Pimpy. If it's on the internet, then that must be true. That's my problem. I keep doubting everything. That's what it is. I blink more than normal. Soon as you said no blinking, if that's not a still pic, I would be questioning clones and robots again. No, but when I first watched it, it froze there, and I was like, kind of listening and looking at her, and I was like, wait, has she blinked? And I started paying attention. And I go, she's she's so into this conversation, she's not blinking. And then I did realize it was a still picture, and I was like, oh, it fooled me for a little bit. That's why when I did a video this time and I did my reaction, I kind of made fun of it because it threw me for a loop. Now, the funny thing was when she came out and then finally answered, it did make me jump because I was too busy, playing around with the picture going, man, it would be a good joke, to say that she has a move, she's not blinking, she's having a staring contest, and then she spoke right then, and it scared the bejeebus out of me. Pimply, are you against this happening? Sure sounds like you are against it. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is. Could you be more specific? You talking about what? The court? Nah, take them to court. If you want to take them to court, go ahead. If that colonel wants to take them to court, go ahead. If what they're saying is right, I think they should go do something because then it sets precedents. And if it sets precedents, then more people can start going to court as well, and it can really do something about it. Do you see what I'm saying? So, nah, I don't have nothing against him going to court, nothing at all. If you're meaning the NESARA GESARA, of course, I don't have no problem against that, and I'm hoping it works. But what I'm saying is the way it's being presented out there in the YouTube arena is bullshit, is what I'm saying. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way. There's a reason why a lot of people are losing friends and family members when you go and go, check this out, man, the Pope's a clone and there's 17 miles of gold, and they're looking at you like you're freaking crazy. You don't need to make up all these stories about Trump still being president and all that. It's not true. If he was, we would not be in this situation. And people talking about, well, we're just letting this play out. For how long, man? This thing's been playing out for decades now. I think most people are aware now. We're woke, if you want to put it that way. The right woke, not the left woke. Don't you get it? Right woke, not the left woke. What's the best Zim to buy that will pay off later when RV happens? So, Lisa, just so you're aware, I'm not a fan of the Zim dollars. Okay. And new Zim dollars are the ones being used with the smaller denominations. Those ones that are like a train dollars, those are gone. They're discontinued. They don't use them anymore. I wouldn't buy those if you're looking into it. Classic Kermit moment. Pimpy, look up David Wynn Miller. This will help explain a lot. So here's the thing. I know who those people are. I know them. David Wynn, I get it. I know who these people are. Like I said, what they are talking about, I think has a place in their court systems if applied right. But I'm talking about the whole kooky part that I give, Russell, he's full of crap about, oh, he's the president and he's a controller of the courts and he's this, flag keeping, and this guy is broke and he claims that they're leasing a flag from him. There's more things than that. There's a lot of other personal issues I have with this guy I don't care to talk about on air. He's a fraud, man. But like I said, the part about the syntax language, I do believe that that's real. I believe there's something about that. You know what I mean? And I've said that before. I'm just giving him crap about all the other things that go along with it. No, he hasn't saved this country. If he saved this country, then why are we still in this predicament? It's the same along with all the other people talking about the clones and everything, Seriously. He has no power, none whatsoever. He borrows money from people all the time. He looks like a bum all the time. He goes sleeps on people's couches all the time. Like I said, there's a lot of other things you guys don't know about him. I don't want to get all into it. Whatever happened to you giving Russell money? He took it, but what was the process? Interactions. We want to know how the fool thought he was going to fool Pimpy. Oh, he fooled me. He fooled me. You can see he talks a good talk. And even so, I still was like, this guy's full of crap, but, just in case. So I was telling him that when my father and me purchased his house, I was in the middle of getting my master's degree. And when we started doing the initial paperwork for the house, my father was there to do the paperwork. And he's more than capable of qualifying on his own. So he signed and had all the paperwork done. I told him I'll come and will add me later because I was just too busy. I was working full time, going to school full time. It was really, my time was I didn't have a lot of free time. So when my father passed away, the house wasn't in my name. I had to fight like hell to get it back. So I had to go to courts, I had to do all kinds of things to make sure that I didn't lose the house. Meanwhile, what was happening was this. Since my name was not on the paperwork or on the loan, we had our loan through Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo couldn't talk to me because my name wasn't on the loan. They wouldn't take my payments for the mortgage because I wasn't on the loan. So the house kept falling behind on mortgages. I mean, months went by, years went by actually. And I was stressing because at any moment I knew they could just come and take the house and foreclose on it. No matter how hard I wanted to pay them the money, they wouldn't take it because I was not an authorized person on account. So when I met Russell, he's telling me, oh, look, he's doing his mumbly jumbly talk. And he was like telling me, oh, I can get the house for you. Not only can I get the house put in your name, but I can make sure that you get the house outright and never have to make any mortgage payments on it. Now, I take everything with a grain of salt, and I thought, well, that sounds good. And I was thinking, how much does this cost? He's like $1,300. I thought to myself, it's worth it to see if this guy can really do what he says he's going to do. So I gave him the money, and then he didn't do anything. So yeah, he screwed me. But again, questionable whether or not he could do it. But for $1,300, yeah, it was worth it. And of course, he done nothing. He didn't get anything accomplished. So that's what happened. Senator Kennedy was on a video, a Zoom meeting or a hearing that dealt with student loans, and a lot of those loans were not on the up and up and had to be paid off or expunged. I could tell you there's a lot of schools and lawsuits going on right now in which the courts have said that these were predator loans. So a lot of them were dismissed. I did videos showing people and said, look, if you guys are involved with any of these schools, you should look into it because a lot of those student loans were actually discharged. So congrats to those people. But there's more than that. I showed you guys a video with a lady who, it's a guaranteed student loan. You're not allowed to bankrupt them, but she found a way using the court system. And also there was an organization, and right now I apologize, I can't think of the name of it. You could go back and see the name of the company, but they have resources and they help people with their lawsuits, especially during bankruptcy. And she was able to discharge her loan, which I believe was like over $350,000. So she discharged it through bankruptcy. So there are ways to do it, despite the fact that they say you can't. LOL Cabal, that was hilarious. Love a challenge. So I'm confused. Why does the date filed say December 32nd? No such date that I know of, Pimpy. No, that's just me being silly. That's all that is. Why does the court date say this? Here you guys go. Work with me, man. This is me being facetious. Oh my God, I laughed my ass off. That is so funny. She's definitely deep fake CGI. I bet you lost a lot of followers for this video. No, actually, I gained a crap load of them. I don't know why, but I did. Like, seriously, like 600 of them jumped on there. But hey, just chalk it up off as now you have less of a gullible hopium fed people. Yeah, that's happened in the past where I did something like this. And you're right. I've lost subscribers that were mad that I was pointing things out. Usually it's not so much that type of video where it gets me in trouble. But if I dare say something about these so-called chosen holy crew, something about Michael Flynn or Lynn Wood or, the Kraken herself or even Trump for that matter, people get pissy. People have drawn the line in the sand and they've taken up their side. They're not seeing the bigger picture. So when you say, hey, I'm concerned about this, and if any of it is negative towards them people, man, they get pissed off real quick. And I'm like, what do you guys get mad about? Isn't this something you should talk about? So if you're one of these people where you're so entrenched that you're not even willing to hear anything that is questionable or discouraging or can discredit the people that everybody else threw up on the pedestal, then, you're actually part of the problem. You're not solving the problem. We should all be open-minded and say, hey, if somebody says something about, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to make this up, because you have to be clear about this. This is made up. I'm making this up as a point. But, well, actually, I don't even have to make one up. Here you go. The Michael Flynn telling Lynn in the recording that he thought the 17-letter movement was CIA. That was upsetting to me, and that is something that we should talk about. You shouldn't be one of these people going, oh, so what if he said that? Just, he's a patriot and he's fighting for us. Wait a minute. No. If Flynn thinks that's a CIA movement and he's pushing you towards it, how is that a good thing? See, that type of thing would usually get me in trouble. People unsubscribe because they don't think you should say anything negative about the people on our so-called team. And to me, I'm an independent. I'm all about whoever's involved in restoring our constitutional republic. And just because people say they are, that doesn't mean they should be allowed to get away with certain things just because they're on our so-called team, if you get my drift. And that's usually where I get in trouble. I searched every news station about this today because it sounds like a huge news and found nothing. Zero, nada in the news. Wonder why. Yeah, that would be big news. I am impressed. Thank you. Funny but true. I love Pimpy's channel, but this video was almost impossible to watch. Pausing the video so much was distracting and annoying. Sorry for the complaints. No, it's all right. Look, hey, you guys, I hear what you have to say, but life is great. That's the whole point of the video, is me mocking it. It's just me being silly. But I also, in all fairness to Winnie, I did leave the link so you guys can go see the video on your own for those of you who wanted to watch the whole entire video. Maybe Winnie is one of those bots we keep hearing about. She might be. Great topic. Were you drunk when you did this, brother? Nah, man, but I had a good buzz, that's for sure. Pimpy, stop pausing the video every 5 seconds. You guys are missing the point. Can't believe we're still talking about GNN. It's a load of. Use your time wisely. So, Pimpy, are you saying NESARA GESARA is not real? What I'm saying is, right now, there is no proof of a so-called NESARA GESARA. There's no proof of it whatsoever. None. Trust me, I am a research hound. What you see is a lot of people's blogs and stuff like that. Now, saying that, I don't want you to get discouraged. There are things on the list for NESARA GESARA that I was able to prove have happened. So what I'm saying, you could call it whatever you want. I'm not necessarily saying it's called NESARA GESARA. I don't care what they call it, to be honest with you. What I cared most about was the items on the list. We all know everywhere there are all kinds of different versions of so-called NESARA GESARA. You got the Saint Germain's version. You got the one that's going out there right now, Charlie Ward and his friends talk about. I mean, there's all kinds of versions of it. When I was looking into NESARA GESARA, I thought all of it sounded too kooky. You got ones where people talking about space aliens coming and stuff like that. Hey, come on, man. Talk about things we could prove. Because when you talk like that, it discourages and, in my opinion, takes away from the movement. Now, I'll show you something. When I saw this, I said, now, see, this is more realistic. And this is what I did my videos on. You can go back. There's a whole list. Down below in the description, I have a link for all my NESARA GESARA videos, so you don't have to try to go through all my videos looking for them. There's a players list. You're welcome to hear them all. But this is the one I use. This one was down to earth and more realistic. So a lot of these items on here, I was able to actually go and prove have already happened or were in the process of happening. Now, not all of them have been done. So what I said was, you could call it NESARA GESARA, you could call it whatever you want. The name doesn't matter. But there is no official NESARA GESARA. I found paperwork and PDFs of an act that was trying to be passed for NESARA GESARA, but it never was passed. And people talking about, well, there was a gun to Bill Clinton's head, and then, George Bush in the 9/11. Come on, man, that's phantasm. That's people making up this crap. There is absolutely zero evidence of that out there. And when you say that to people, they're so brainwashed. They go, well, it's a top secret military. Oh, yeah, so top secret. That's why you're talking about it. And the people on YouTube are talking about it because it's so top secret. I guess I need those special access codes. Is that what you're telling me? But I have not done any kind of update on these in a while, and I will go back and I will do the videos on these again and update them. But yeah, I have in my videos, and a lot of my videos are missing, just so you guys know. They were removed at one time. So it's good. I'll go back and I'll do legitimate ones, okay? And show you guys that yes, more than people know, a lot of these have already happened, okay? So do I call it NESARA GESARA? You call whatever you want. There is no official NESARA GESARA name. There's nothing out there, despite what everybody says. There is no NESARA GESARA Act that was passed. It would be in congressional law. You can't just go, well, they pass a law, but they hide it. No, no, no. Come on, man. People go, well, don't you believe in it? What you mean believe in it? Would I like for it to happen? Sure, of course I would. The version I just showed you. I would love for that to happen. And just because you see me from time to time make these types of videos doesn't mean that I don't want the movement to happen or I don't believe in the movement. I do. I just don't get all into those kooky stories. I've debunked so many of them, and that's when people get pissed because I shatter their dreams. Oh, I'm the bad guy because you guys are showing me a picture. Look at Trump in Switzerland on Air Force One. He must still be the president. I was like, oh, God, no, stop. Stop. This is how I know the handful of you that bring this up absolutely positively do zero research. Zero. It doesn't take long for me to debunk any of those things. Now, when that video was released of the QFS system and all the paperwork that was used in this video, I debunked the crap right out of it. So what I was debunking was the evidence that was being used to prove that QFS system existed. I told you guys later on, my friend came out. He does work for the government. He said the QF system is real. Now, he doesn't work in that area. He does something totally different. He just overheard people talking about it, and he asked, hey, is that thing real? And they said, yeah. But he gave me no details. There's nothing for me to give to you to validate it. So I spent a lot of time researching, going into it, trying to find it. I found a bank that says they use the QFS system. I tried to get them on air to interview them. They wouldn't do it. So the QFS system was there. And that's when I came across Gunther. Gunther explained it in details. He said it's there, but not the way it's being talked about in YouTube or on these websites, these quirky people. They find something that's a little bit true and then they exaggerate and twist it all up and make it sound like they got the special access or they're sitting on the board of directors or, the non-disclosure agreement. All that. You guys don't fall for that. When you see people start doing that and talk about, well, my secret so-called intel people, man, don't believe that. There's no secret intel, nothing. All right, you guys. So as far as the movement is concerned, I'm actually a big fan of it. And I'm the one that said that you should take this version of it. Right now, around the world, we see people protesting the lockdowns. This is what people should have. And in addition to being, demanding the economies and everything being opened back up, you should also be pushing this around the world. I think this is very legitimate, but if you're going to try to convince people that, hey, this is the route we should take, get away from those, oh, well, Bill Clinton had a gun to his head, there's clones and aliens and the Pope and 17 miles. Get away from that crap because you lose them altogether. We don't need to do all those stories. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, let's say even if the stories were real, I wouldn't use them. Because people are going to look at you like you're quirky. Like they're going to, okay, you're going to totally lose them, even if it was real, because they're not going to believe it. So just stick to this. Just say, this is what we deserve. This is what we demand. Okay? This is the movement. This is all that matters. It doesn't make a difference about the name, but this is all that matters. That these things happen. Do you get the point I'm trying to make? Get away from the kooky stories and focus on the things that matter most, which are the items on this list. That's what I've been telling people all along. Get away from those quirky stories, regardless if they're real or not. That's when you lose people, because that's when I first started doing my own research into this. When I started hearing these quirky stories, I was like, no, I gave up on it right away and then went back to it. And I found this version. And I was like, this is more realistic. This is more legitimate without all the quirky stories and everything like that. Okay? That's what we should be focusing on. This is all that matters. Whether they call it NESARA, GESARA or not, it doesn't matter. What you want to do is see the items on this list actually happen. And that's what matters most. Okay, guys? Anyways, that's it for now, man. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.